gaining from this, but creating more animosity.
Okay,
First,
look,
I can't believe I can't believe you compared Muslims with blacks. I mean, come on. This is. I
didn't
this is
compare them. I just used as an illustration that there has to be a line somewhere about what is fair to be offensive. Okay, that's all, and why you're offensive. Okay, what justifies being offensive?
All I'm saying is that they're trying to pass on as a race, and they're succeeding because everybody is calling these people who are drawing portraits of Muhammad bigots, and they are not bigots.
They aren't trying to perceive themselves
like
as
a
a
bigot,
race.
and it talks like a bigot, and it acts like a bigot. It's a fucking bigot. I'm sorry. If you feel the need to make a mocking image of Muhammad, I'm sorry. What the hell else is that? You obviously have contempt for the religion. It doesn't matter whether you're bigoted. You're obviously a hater of the religion. You're a maligner of the religion. You're a maligner of that philosophy, and that's your right. But I'm just saying, if you're going to do it in an offensive manner, if you're going to pull out the N-word, and I'm going to use racial comparisons because this is how it works. I mean, if the American Indians were a closer in history example, I would use them. Okay, because we use lots of slurs and lots of bad imagery to justify what we did, and this is just not very fucking mature. Is my only argument. I have no interest in this. I made any videos on this fucking subject. I don't give a fuck if people want to waste their energy on this nonsense. I just think it looks pretty fucking stupid on both sides. Both sides look like fucking assholes, in my opinion.
Look, can I get a say in here? Because I don't have a camera, but I have a mic. Okay, you want to know the reason why these Muslims are getting so crazy about these cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad is because Muslims have to, in their religion, they have to love the Prophet Muhammad and protect the honor of the Prophet Muhammad more than themselves. They have to their love for the Prophet has to be so great that they will do anything for the Prophet. Like, a lot of the scholars who have talked about this issue say that they go back to the story of Ka'b bin Ashraf, where one of the Prophet's companions killed this guy who was making Ka'b bin Ashraf, who was making poetry, who was mocking the Prophet. So the scholars of Islam these days are using this same parallel and saying
I think that's a bullshit explanation.
Muslims must protect the Prophet's honor.
That ain't anything to fucking goddamn do with it, okay? It's just propaganda. They're looking for excuses for why people should hate. All right, so now the Muslims can make us look like haters, and so that's what their defense is. So they can show it to their other Muslim people, the fanatics, and say, see, look what these Americans are. Look what they resort to. You know, they defame, the Prophet. They do this. They look at what they resort to. Look at the petty, lousy human beings they are. So they're just, it feeds what their agenda is, and their agenda is political first, and all this other stuff. This is just two teams fighting with each other, and they're going to use any kind of, he was caught drunk driving, or it's like in politics. They'll find something, he got a blow job, so now we have to impeach him because he can't be president anymore because he got a blow job. I mean, they're just looking for an excuse to find a way to malign our character by using this as an example. So of course they're highlighting it for their own. It's for their own internal purposes. They're not doing it because they think they're making an argument against us. They don't think they're actually going to stop us from doing something. They're doing it because it has political value to them to make a scene about it.
Well, what this guy said that, it's the... What? Sorry. Yeah, my cat is back. He was saying that, it's Muslims' duty to defend the Prophet. No, that's under an Islamic law. You are not in an Islamic law here, and it's prohibited. I mean, I know blasphemy is punished with death, but this is for Muslims, and it's under Sharia law. It's not for infidels. It's not a law for infidels. And the reason why Muhammad shouldn't be portrayed, I mean, as Muslims, any Muslims would say, is because Muhammad saw this example with Jesus, that people started, making eye icons and worshipping his image and lost his message. And he said that he should not be portrayed, so his message won't be lost. This is the reason. So
Chris, can I
his
explain
image
two
won't
things?
be.
Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter if Muslims in America are not under Sharia law. Muslims have a duty, and this isn't, all the Muslim scholars have said that Muslims must defend the honor of the Prophet no matter what. It doesn't matter if Sharia law is not installed. If any disbeliever makes fun of the Prophet, he must be eliminated or he must be taken care of in some way. And this is the duty amongst the Muslims, and almost all the Sunni Muslims will defend the Prophet to this extent. Usually these days Islam has been watered down in the West because Muslims would rather live in the West than live back at home in Arabia and stuff. So in defense of their living in the West, they water down their religion and say, oh yeah, well, we'll just defend the Prophet Muhammad with our words instead of hurting someone physically. But in their religion, in their core doctrine, this is what it says. They have to defend the honor of the Prophet no matter what. It doesn't matter if there's no Sharia law.
So what? Go read the Old Testament and you'll hear the same kind of rhetoric, okay, about killing the infidels and all that bullshit. So, I mean, this whole idea, that, yes, all these religions moderate over time. They become completely different than they were 100 years ago or 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, and they become different based on what position you put people in. So who are the dangerous Christians in America? Guess what? The ignorant, the poor, the ones living in the Stone Age, the goddamn loony fundamentalist assholes, right? They're the threat. Okay, and who's the threat in the Muslim world? Yeah, well, it's usually going to be associated with ignorance, the crudest of the lifestyle and the living conditions. And we know that none of this shit would be an issue if it wasn't for the goddamn, let's not even get into it, but, I mean, Israel and our intervention in the Middle East. If we weren't intervening in the Middle East, they would be just killing each other and they wouldn't be bothered with us.
Look, I'm not anti-Muslim and I'm not pro-Muslim. I'm very neutral. But the thing is, I'm just trying to explain to you guys this is the teachings. If you listen to the works of the scholars, this is what they've said about
whatever.
defending the Prophet's
Okay,
honor.
fine. But that's a debate faith argument, okay? Because I don't believe any of these fucking religious fuckers believe in any of this crap anyway, okay? It's never about the religion. It's about the fucking politics. All right, they don't have any goddamn faith in these gods. There's no fucking real Christian in America, and there's no fucking real Muslim in fucking Arabia, okay? It's all a pile of crap. It's a fairy tale. It has to do with a lifestyle choice, a culture, all of that crap, but they don't really believe in any of this goddamn shit. You think any of these assholes really believe they're going to heaven, that in heaven they're really worried about cartoons, and they're going to say when you get to heaven, well, what did you do? I killed the man who drew a cartoon. And that Muhammad's going to say, oh, thank you so much for killing the cartoon guy. Oh, that was a brilliant move. Thanks a lot. I mean, they don't buy any of this shit. Religion is a bullshit. It's a cultural addiction. It has nothing to do with real faith, okay? So this is a political strategy. It's a political, and it's just petty hate, all right? And it's hate that we generated. We built the H and the A and the T and the E. We built it in those people.
Yeah, I just want to say that, this guy, Al-Suyufi, whatever. No, what you're saying about, the scholars saying that you must defend all. No, this is no hadith this is said in those exact words. Yes, some scholars interpret it like that, but it's not like you said, that all Sunni Muslims. No, some Sunni Muslims don't do. There are videos from Muslims after this incident who said they were not offended by that cartoon. It's obviously a matter of what scholars are you listening to.
The Muslims who these are the layman Muslims who say that they're not offended by it. You go talk to any respected, renowned scholar of Islam, of Sunni Islam, and they will say that they're appalled by the cartoon. They'll say that.
Right. Was Jerry Falwell a scholar of Christianity? Is Pat Robertson a Christian scholar? I mean, come on. This is the bullshit argument. Fuck it.
Yes, it's a
Religion is
bullshit argument, but in Islam,
Religion is
in
bullshit.
Islam,
It's about the
scholars
fucking
scholars rule
politics.
the religion. In
It's
Islam,
about
scholars
the